Postal 4 is one of the worst performing games I've ever played, only second to Rust. Initially when I played this game and beat it again and again and again for some fucking reason, I tolerated that terrible performance. This time a little thing changed in my life. Some asshole decided to introduce me to many different things, such as Warhammer, romance, and modding video games. Enter Postal 4, not only being highly unentertaining, and keep in mind this is coming from a guy with 70 hours in it, I decided that my suffering should be at high FPS. Initially I just tried optimizing the settings so that way I could get the best fidelity for the FPS, but nevertheless the game still performs like kinda ass. Enter Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, an actually fun game that performed kinda ass. I used OptiScaler to allow myself to get FSR3 frame generation, something the game did not natively support. Along with 2 other mods, I managed to get that game to run very smooth 144 FPS with no visual compromise. That's all it took. It almost sounds unreal. Downloading more FPS, it sounds like a genuine fantasy, but we're getting to the point where we can just do that. This game supports DLSS 3.7, and I have an AMD card, an RX 7900 XTX, so I decided, alright, let me use OptiScaler again and transform that into getting FSR3 frame generation. And boom, there I had it. This game running at 200 frames per second. But I ain't done that. Now, I'm not actually sure if this increases my FPS for this particular game, but it usually works for most games that run on DirectX 12 anyways. I put -3D D11 and hope for the best. Not only that, putting all my settings to low, and I'm starting to get some really amazing FPS. But I'm not done there. AMD is working on a piece of technology that is currently garbage. Known as AMD Fluid Motion Frames, known for how much it simply causes visual artifacts, it does actually add a large amount of smoothness to your games. I use it for games like Helldivers 2, where it actually isn't too bad there. There are some games where it genuinely does really help. Usually games without UIs just because of the amount of HUD visual artifacts there are that turns people off from using it to begin with. Even though we'd be getting into unplayable territory, I decided to enable it because it doubles your FPS. Stacking frame generation on top of frame generation, is that terrible? Yes. The input lag is pretty bad. It's not as bad as you'd think, but it's pretty bad. It's still playable, but the visual artifacts on your crosshair is very distracting. I wouldn't recommend ever enabling this, and this is only going to be available towards AMD users, so just don't even bother. I honestly just wanted to get that number to 400. Along with putting the upscaling to ultra performance, I was able to push out 500 FPS. And there you go, 1,000 frames on Postal 4. How the fuck did we get here? What you should take away from this video is OptiScaler. The only times where I'd recommend not using OptiScaler is if you have an RTX 40 or 50 series. Other than that, use OptiScaler. You can add FSR frame generation to cards that aren't even AMD. That's free FPS. If you have an older Nvidia card or an AMD card in general, it is the perfect thing to use. It's not my job to give you a tutorial on how to use it. There are many tutorials, even on the GitHub link itself, which I will provide in the description. I also would recommend changing the engine.ini to allow use for more VRAM. Simply the more complex the scene, your FPS will drop less. And that is how to properly optimize Postal 4. Postal 2 is a far superior game compared to this. And I mean this to the full extent of my heart. I would not recommend Postal 4 to anyone. As much as I respect the developers, I do not think that this game is ready. I fixed one of the many issues, and if I was good at developing more than just co-op mods, I would fix every single one of these game's issues. Until now, here's how to fix one issue. Thanks for watching.